Of the many thousands of cards in the Pokemon TCG, First Ticket may be the most useless, yet also one of the most interesting cards to be printed. First Ticket's history highlights important details in Pokemon's history of rule changes and unexpected consequences in the modern TCG. On release, First Ticket seemed to be a gimmicky but game-altering card. Reading, before you flip a coin to decide who goes first in a game, you may play this card. Don't flip that coin, and you go first. Wedged into the only 20-card Dragon Vault set, First Ticket was cheeky and interesting, yet not all that competitively viable. However, this was not the first time such an effect was printed. To truly understand this card, let's go back to 2008. The last set in the Diamond and Pearl block, Stormfront, promised to shake up the game, yet no card would so come to dominate the format than Sableye. Similar to First Ticket, Sableye's over-eager ability allowed a player to always start the game if Sableye was in the active spot. For its first few years, Sableye was powerful, but not an especially potent card, as due to the Pokemon rules of the time, on the first turn going first, one could not play any trainer cards from their hand. The release of Black and White in 2011 ushered in the modern era of the Pokemon TCG. It added one new, crucial rule change. Players could now play trainers on their first turn going first. Players could still attack on their first turn. This allowed Sableye to go crazy. On the first turn of the game, Sableye players had the potential to knock out almost any basic Pokemon their opponent could throw at them. Using a combination of Crobat G with the Flash Bite ability to put 1 damage counter on an opponent's Pokemon, Poketurn, which allowed players to pick up any SP Pokemon for more uses of Crobat, and Uxie, an incredibly broken support card that allowed players to draw until they have 7 cards in their hand, Sableye had just created one of the most hated standard archetypes in all of the Pokemon TCG. The combination of broken support cards and the new rule change would lead to Sableye's dominance, which, so broken and unfair, forced Pokemon to rotate Sableye and the rest of Diamond and Pearl out of the standard format early. So, what did this have to do with First Ticket? Was First Ticket able to achieve the same amount of success as Sableye? Well, no. In fact, First Ticket barely saw any play at all. Sure, it could sneak a few turn 1 wins here and there, but First Ticket was not as consistent as Sableye, being an item and not a Pokemon, and had nowhere near the same level of support that Sableye had. With the release of X and Y in 2014, less than 2 years after the release of First Ticket, players were given a new set of starting rules, which, like the Black and White rulings for Sableye, forever changed First Stamp. Yet, this time, it was a change for the worse. With X and Y, players could no longer attack on their first turn when they went first, making First Stamp obsolete as a donk card. Yet, this is not the rule change that really hindered First Stamp. It was a more unassuming change to the rules, stating that players flip the coin to decide who goes first before drawing cards. Since First Ticket could specifically only be used before the coin flip happened, the card was now literally useless. In the history of the Pokemon TCG, only a very select few cards ever became truly useless. These cards are known as orphan cards. This Greninja, a Sword and Shield promo, is the most recent example of an orphan card, as there were no Froakie and Frogadier cards in the standard format for a period of time where this Greninja was legal. However, what makes First Ticket truly special is that it is the only orphan card that I know of to stay obsolete even after it rotated into Pokemon's Eternal format, Expanded. In Expanded, you have many Froakie and Frogadier cards to play the previously obsolete Greninja with, but First Ticket remains and probably will always be unusable. It's been over 10 years since First Ticket could be last played, and I wonder if the card is worth an errata. Yet, whether we will be able to play with it again or not, First Ticket will always remind me of Sableye, and how a simple rule change can make or break a card. Do you think First Ticket should be errataed? Let me know in the comments below.